Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview video. And today I just came back from school, from university, and maybe from a little bit of Black Friday shopping. Not really shopping, just looking around. Get out of my face over here. And today we have a look at the upcoming Tier 10, wheeled vehicle, the Panhard EBR 105. How it came to that tank, I'll be talking about later on. I also give my personal opinion on the new video, which Wargaming released. But hey, today or right now, we have a look at the EBR 105. First, we're going to have a look what Wargaming is saying about it before we have a look at the stats and compare to the AMX 30 105 and the Sheridan to just be sure. So they're saying today we start the close test of the French vehicle branch. The basic mechanics we were checked earlier with the tier 6 armor car, tier 8 armored car, and now we got to fine-tune the entire line starting from the top. The first in queue is the Panhard EBR 105, the tier 10 crown of the branch, expressing the unique features of wheeled vehicles at most. What kind of vehicle is that? It's an 8-wheeled 2-driving mode, magnet lock-on, the charging mechanic, and other distinctive features are in place and enhanced. The vehicle is extremely vulnerable to enemy fire with a small HP pool and almost non-existing armor, so rely on its mobility and small size to survive. It counts as a light tank, but the spotting distance is much shorter than those of tracked ones. And here I'm going to make a small break. This is like a huge problem for me. You can see it has 350 base fuel range, not 380, which I would have lived with. It's 350. And 350 is bad. It's really, 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 really bad. Like, I'm trying to think about a tank right now. I think the IS-3 would actually work, which has 350 base fuel range. Not entirely sure. Okay, it has 350. So we take the IS-3 right now as an example for calculations. Theoretically, we're giving it coated optics, we give it vents, and most likely tank gun rammer. And you get 393 meters of fuel range. Now you have a brothers in arms crew, you have recon, and you have the situation awareness. And you only get to 421 meters of fuel range. And we already have invested a lot of time and a lot of effort in it. Oops, this is not what I wanted. I want to get extra ratios, and even with extra ratios, you do not get 445 meters fuel range. It's like the bare minimum. And yet we don't achieve it. What we can try to do is we say we go for the experimental optics, and voila, we finally get our desired 445 meters plus fuel range. But again, this is a module which is for bonds only. This is with a 4-skill crew, most likely. It depends really how Wargaming is going to introduce the Panhard line, if they have a separate radio operator or not, because so far it does look like they have a separate radio operator. So we would look at right now of a 3-skill crew with no camouflage, or maybe a little bit of camouflage, no 100% crew with camouflage. A hefty investment, but yeah, the firepower is the firepower is enough to finish off a damaged enemy at the end of a battle, but not for an even-sided one-on-one engagement. The Panhard's ace in the sleeve is its mobility. A 105mm cannon has outstanding stabilization, allowing it to fire on the move. Its reloading speed is the underline that damage dealing isn't armored car's main speciality. How will it play? They are saying at the start of the battle it's an extremely active spotter, at the middle as a very agile reconnaissance vehicle with limited firepower, and at the battle's end as a rapid and dangerous predator. Speed and aggression is a wheeled vehicle's creed. The Panhard will be relatively tough to handle and will suit experienced and confident tankers. Depending on the test result, we may change. Again, those are the first stats for this tank, so there might be changes, but so far, let's have a look at them. And I guess it is best if we just push this out here and this out here, so we can really have a good comparison. So here we have the MX 30 105, which is also doing a comparison with the XM55-1 Sheridan, and the Sheridan. I'm just going to change the gun to the 105 gun. As you can see, there we go. So the tier 10 vehicle, the Panhard EBR 105, will have the 1300 hit points, which is actually decent if you think about it. I was thinking the guy will have 1100 hit points or anything really, but it has 1300, which is just 100 less than the AMX13 105. It's still low. It really is compared, for example, with the Sheridan, which has 1600, but it's okay. Armor, I really don't want to talk about it because it's non-existent. The motor has 850 horsepower, which is more than the Sheridan and more than the AMX13 105. It has a turret traverse speed of 66 degrees per second, which is again much more than the Sheridan or the AMX30 105 has. It has a suspension traverse speed, which is kind of odd to call like that, but it's 34 degrees per second, which would be, excuse me, I actually showed the wrong one. This would be right now the tank traverse. It's the slowest from those tanks, and the turret traverse, excuse me, again, my bad. I just have to find it. Obviously, it's hiding. There we go, gun traverse. It's ridiculous. 66 degrees per second. Those guys have 26 and 35 degrees per second, or turret traverse. There we go, man. 39 and 44, still a huge difference. As you can see, base view range 350 meters, nothing compared to the AMX30 105 or the Sheridan. Top speeds though, damn, 75 kilometers per hour forward speed and 50 kilometers backward speed. It has to be noted though that the tier 8 vehicle, premium vehicle at least, has better backward speed for some reason when it is in the traveling mode. No, excuse me, city mode, there we go. In the city mode, this tank already has much better speed than the AMX30 and the Sheridan. And when it goes into terrain mode or into traveling mode, which is using only two axes, you have 105 and 75 kilometers per hour top speeds. They were saying in the video it's 110 kilometers per hour, but maybe they said it's the maximum you can achieve going downhill. We'll see how this turns out. Yet 105 kilometers per hour top speed forward and 175 backwards is at the moment the highest top speeds you can reach. Even backwards, I think it is one of the highest, not even the highest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that there's any other tank which has 80 kilometers top speed forward. So this tank is the fastest tank even in reverse. The power to weight ratio is a whopping 64.7 HP per ton. The penetration is pretty 198 millimeters penetration with APCR and 240 with most likely heat. I do not like that. It has an accuracy of 0.38, which is at least better than the one on the AMX30, which is always one of my bigger problems with this tank. It has an aim time of 1.2 seconds, which is ridiculous good, and has a reload time of 12 seconds, and I do not like that. 12 seconds is poor, really poor. I'm not 100% sure. We can once again go into tanks.gg, because the WZ132 is one of the worst tanks when it comes to DPM, and you can see it has 10.26 seconds reload time. This guy has 12. So we can say it has 12 seconds, 60 seconds divided by 12 gives us 5 shots per minute. 5 times 390 gives it a DPM of 1950, which is really not that good. It's the worst of every tier 10 light. And I'm 100% sure that there's nothing else that worse. I don't think that anything on tier 10 has below 2000 DPM. Maybe the Batchat because it has the autoloader, but nope. Just bad. Like, maybe the Waffenträger auf even 100? Nope. I don't know. To be honest, I would have loved if Wargame give this tank a 2-shot autoloader with it, like, I don't freaking know, 20 seconds reload time instead of 26 like he has with 3. That would be amazing. Like, that would be something new, something unique, but they decided against it, so yeah, we will see. Again, this is the first test iteration. Lastly, it has 8 degrees of gun depression and 15 degrees of gun elevation, which is better than the AMX's one, in both cases, but worse than the one of the Sheridan. But let's be honest, a little bit unfair because the Sheridan has 10 degrees of gun depression. Overall, those are the stats of the Panhard EBR 105 compared to the, at the moment, 2 tier 10 light tanks. Why I decided AMX30? Because it's the counterpart of the French tank, and the Sheridan because it has a good 105mm gun and decent mobility, and it's actually being used, I think, compared to the WZ 132, which is just straight trash, in my personal opinion. Again, my personal opinion. The good thing is this tank will most likely have a 4-skill crew, a crew of 4 people. There we go. With the commander being also the loader, meaning you can dump important skills onto the radio man, like situational awareness. That's like really, really important. Lastly, we don't really have that big of pictures right now, but in the video, I think what they showed so far, pretty cool, pretty darn cool. I actually really like how the tank is looking. I might be able to find it in a quick second. I'm just going to, yeah, there we go, the English version. It was mostly in the back. We just give a look. That is the links. And this is the, there we go. They showed a other picture with high resolution. Come on, they were working on it. Please show it to me. Yeah, come on. There we go. Actually, this tank, I personally think this tank looks absolutely amazing. Like, it looks fantastic. And they said this is not an historical vehicle. There were modernization ideas for the Panhard to get a 105mm gun. But this right here is the artistical interpretation of wargaming and their engineers. If they have any, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so far the stats are cool, yet the speed is amazing. But the fuel range and the DPM really, really poops into my cake. Like, it just doesn't feel right, and it won't really be fun, I think. You have bad penetration on AP or standard and on premium shells. You have really bad DPM. You have bad fuel range. You just have your speed. On aim time and mostly stabilization. But I don't really know if this is enough to justify what this tank have. I already talked about it, and I think it would be great to give them at least enough fuel range to get on 445 with not investing a huge amount of skills and anything into it. That would be great. Like, instead of 350, something like 370, 380 would be amazing, because then you could do the same thing with the LT432, and you get barely to 445 meters of fuel range with a good skill investment. But at the moment, yeah, the speed is amazing. I would love to play those tanks, but other than that, meh. Simply meh. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about those tanks and if they are something for you, if you think it is overpowered or not. We do not know yet what are the camo ratings of those vehicles, so yeah, it's kind of hard to say if they will be outspotted by stationary scouts or scouts with 450 to 490 meters of fuel range, which is standard for tier 10. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great Black Friday and a great weekend. Bye bye.